Hello, Fiona.
Hello.
How's things? Ooh, different mugs today.
Well, it's a coffee cup, isn't it?
Is it indeed? Yep,
And
yep.
I have a different color, I think. I have six of these. So.
hmm
Excuse my nose, I'm slightly blocked today.
Mine as well.
Teacher
Bit of a,
colds.
yeah,
Teacher colds.
yep. Had a few days off over Easter and then obviously went back to work and got
Wow,
hit.
this is
But
it.
never
I
mind.
worked I worked into including Good Friday and then started getting a cold. So it's the typical holidays cold, but I'm nearly at the end of it now, but still. This is something all teachers watching know about, isn't it? School holidays, catch a cold
Yeah,
or a stomach bug. I don't know what. Our superpower is surviving the term.
yes.
Anyway, my cup is a hint at something.
Which means you're going to be firing questions at me
It
today.
does. It's a coffee break today. And I think we're going to slightly change coffee breaks in a direction that will become obvious as my questions progress. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. Well, Ms. T, you are a member of a committee for Teachers Association and you also coordinate. Did you set up the hub?
I co-founded the hub, yeah,
Right.
with Simon Perlman. Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you know, I didn't realize there was both of you. I'm so sorry, Simon. I shall credit you in all future references. So, so between the one thing and the other, you do a fair amount of volunteering. So I thought my questions would go that direction about volunteering, teacher development and stuff. So my first question for you is, um, what drew you to being a committee member on a very large teachers association, which I have not as yet named, so you can do that as well.
Yes, so I am currently media officer on TESOL-SPAIN. I'm on the
Hmm.
TESOL-SPAIN board. How did I first get into it? Well, Kerry Jones was on the committee, but she was looking at stepping down, and so she suggested me because you have to be elected on, you have to put forward your proposal, and a TESOL-SPAIN member has to kind of say why you would be good, and then somebody from the board has to accept that proposal, and then you get voted on. So that happened kind of just after the pandemic. I think I joined in 2021. Um,
Hmm.
and originally I was just kind of a media person. And Rebecca Place was the media officer, and she's now the
I know her
president.
well.
So I've stepped up into media officer role. So I mean, in terms of what I do the podcast for TESOL-SPAIN.
Hmm.
Um, I send out a newsletter, and it's on my list of things to do, which I haven't quite done yet this month. And keep in touch with Michelle Guerini, who does the reviews. She does an excellent job, and she sends it to me, and I upload it to the website. Um, and yeah, and then kind of organizing online events. And I'm also now the Cadiz, the TESOL-SPAIN Cadiz area coordinator. So I need to get on to organizing some local events as well. Yeah. Yes, so
I
that's
must
how I
come and
first got
see you
in.
for that. But what do you, I can't think of a better way to word this. What do you get from the volunteering? Um,
So I
we
mean,
all
I
do
think
things because we love them or because, so what is it about that?
I think so many people have given over the years to my career, and so it's really nice to be able to kind of give something back, give my time. But as well, I get a lot from it. So I've had some really amazing opportunities. I went to the big TESOL International Convention last year as the kind of affiliate representative for TESOL Spain.
Mhm.
A couple of years before, Annie Altamirano and I went to Turkey because TESOL Turkey had organized a kind of affiliates event and we were looking at trauma-informed teaching. So that was a really interesting opportunity. Um, and then obviously as well, just kind of, I went to TESOL France. That was where we kind of
Yeah, yeah,
reconnected.
yeah, yeah.
And that was because of TESOL Spain as well. So yeah, it's just been kind of you get a lot from it being a member, and then kind of when you step in and offer yourself more opportunities open up to you as well, I think.
Right. Yeah. Now, as a person who's, well, I was part of I'm trying to think, well, how did it start? So I used to be part of a committee way back, like 25 years ago in the Canary Islands, where I was the conference organizer.
Ah,
And I certainly feel that that I'm going to say propelled my career, but I don't mean in the sense of gave me opportunities to travel or whatever. It was more about it really sparked my interest in a lot of new areas of teacher development. I guess because through organizing the events, I was in touch with people who were doing different things. And as I was reading proposals and stuff, it was like, oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. And then going to the different talks, obviously not all of them, impossible,
mhm,
but and from there I started my own research and my own writing articles and my own. So actually I think it was becoming a committee member that started all of that. I mean, it must have been in me already. I'd already done my diploma, which is what the Delta used to be, or the diploma was a bit different, but anyway.
mhm,
But yes, I started there, and I was one of the ITEFL SIGs. I was part of TD SIG and briefly more SIG, but that was got hit by the pandemic as well. Um, I was TD SIG committee for a long time. And
mhm,
I also feel so I've just rejoined a committee, not rejoined, I've just joined another ITEFL committee. Um, Partly because I felt that I needed a kind of a professional family again. Um, I think that teaching is quite a solitary job sometimes. Even if you've got a staff room, sometimes a year, I do have a staff room, but it's very much, you
mhm,
know. Whereas the committee, I don't know, it feels like everybody's working towards a common goal and whatever, which is different in the classroom. So I've just joined one. Anyway, very long question, but how about you? Do you have a similar sort of
Well,
feeling about teachers' associations and being part of committees? Do you get
would
that kind of
going back to what you were saying about how when you were organizing the events, and so you were kind of your eyes were opened up to all these different
mm,
options. That's one thing that I definitely enjoyed with the TEFL Development Hub, which has come, it's kind of taken a bit of a back burner recently because of business and things. But when I was organizing a webinar every couple of weeks, I learned so much. Like, because
yeah.
quite often I would see a post or something on LinkedIn and reach out to that person and say, would you be interested in doing a session for me? I'm afraid I can't pay you. Absolutely no problem if that means you won't be able to do it. I understand we're
Mm,
all busy. But in all the time that I was doing these events, nobody ever said no.
mm.
Um, and it was just great. And I think that's it as well. I think so many people are so invested in what they do and so passionate about teaching, whether it's their little niche or just ELT education in general. I think everybody's really willing to share that with others.
Yeah, I think it's the passion that gets us into the committee in the first place, but then it's our passion feeds off the passion of the others around us. So it's a good way to stay motivated and engaged in the profession.
Hmm.
Do you agree?
I mean, I will say this as well. So I mentioned before going to the TESOL International Affiliates event. Um, and I was shocked. There were a few people there who were saying, we're having a bit of a problem with our board. People aren't that engaged. Nobody's really kind of, nobody got the initiative to get things going. And I was just like, what? Come see TESOL-SPAIN. Like everybody
Yeah.
just gives so much of themselves. I think I'm not going to say we're the only association that does this. I know that there are lots of associations who are really
Well,
passionate about what they do, but I do feel that we have a really strong board. And people they will get involved. They are doing things. Some of it's very visible, some of it's much more behind the scenes, but everybody who's there is like, yes, I'm here. I'm here for TESOL-SPAIN. Yeah. A little bit of love for my TESOL-SPAIN buddies.
yeah, well, I've had long-term connections with TESOL-SPAIN as well, and I would definitely agree with that. And all the boards I've met,
Mhm.
um, quick name check for Annie MacDonald. She was very much part of TESOL-SPAIN as well, and just a beautiful person. And so many others, Hilary Plass, and you know, and Rebecca. I've known Rebecca for a long time, and other names, Gerard. There's a lot of people, but I would also say my experience with the IATEFL has been very positive as well. I think we are blessed, shall we say, as a profession, in that there's a lot of really passionate and really interesting people in our profession. I mean, maybe there are no professions, but this is mine.
Mm.
you know. And I guess every profession has some people who are not like that, but our
And how
our
does
major
it
teachers' associations generally do seem to be peopled by passionate individuals.
how does it feel being part of a much bigger organization as is IATEFL, and having those international connections?
Um, Similar to being part of a more regional one or a smaller one. I think because the way that IATEFL SIGs at least are organized, because it's a smaller group, so it does feel more like the kind of like a TESOL Spain or something, something regional. That sounds bad, not like a
Mm,
National Teachers Association. It doesn't feel huge because even though people are in Argentina or I don't know, Nepal or whatever, or and they're zooming in from different places. We have that. We have Zoom, so the meetings are
mm,
on Zoom. Um, we're all in the same job. We all face the same, I don't know, working conditions or daily ups and daily downs. You know what I mean? So it doesn't feel massively different. I suppose there is a slight difference of the overarching umbrella, should we
mhm,
say, in that, the SIGs are always the offspring of the big IATEFL, and the big IATEFL has a lot more rules and regulations, but also trustees and that kind of
mhm.
level of organization. But I mean, it's not limiting particularly. It's as long as nobody does anything seriously weird. But that's true of any
Yeah.
teachers association. Let's do abseiling in the Himalayas for teachers. No, you know. But because committees and teachers organizations consist of people, and the people in IATAFL are all English, or nearly all English teachers,
Hmm.
you know, similar, I would say. But I'm going to carry on asking you questions very
Okay.
quickly, though. I don't know how much longer we've got for 20 minutes, but I want you to give me as many tips as possible for teacher development or for CPD, not for teacher development, sorry, for CPD, for your own personal, because there's conference and joining a committee, but there are other
Hmm.
things.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
Go for it.
So, so obviously. national teachers associations, and then they tend to have their annual conferences. Um, but the fact, since the pandemic, so much is available online. And that's not to say things weren't available before, but things like the British Council, I saw their calendar of
Yeah.
courses coming up for this year. Big shout out to Pilar Capwell because she was the one that posted it on LinkedIn and helped me find it. Um, and then so then kind of from that, things like Future Learn, Coursera, there's loads of opportunities for courses there. Um, in terms of developing as a teacher, getting into examining is really interesting to kind of help you see the behind the scenes sort of thing. Obviously you need to be working with students who are kind of taking those exams to become an examiner. So you kind of already have a bit of a knowledge of the exam, but then it helps you kind of have a better understanding, I think, of some of the skills and what sort of things they're looking for.
Mhm.
Um, Blogging is a very good way to develop yourself.
Mhm.
Reading blogs and then obviously kind of setting up your own blog. Um,
How about inviting guest bloggers?
As well, yeah, yeah. I mean, going back to what I was saying before with the webinars for TEFL Development Hub, so many people are more than happy to kind of say, oh yeah, look, here's an idea I can share. Sharing lesson plans as well. Sylvia Mashiti, she has an amazing blog. And I think she's had a few guest lesson plan posts as well.
I've
And
lost
there's
count, by the way, of how many tips we're at, but keep going.
Yep, yep, yep. Another great guy, and I'm afraid I can't remember his surname, but Miguel. Um, he has an amazing. He used to be very active on Twitter, constantly resharing things that he'd seen. Now on kind of Facebook, on LinkedIn, Instagram, I'll share a link to him because I can't remember the name of the blog either. I'm really sorry. Um, what else can you do? Listening to podcasts is another way to continue developing. So I will give a quick shout out to Pablo and Georgia. They had an ELT management podcast that's very interesting. And a huge shout out to the DSOL pod team, which is Ishel and Brent. They have a fantastic podcast all about kind of innovation, not necessarily kind of tech, but keeping things moving.
And
Um,
we're on Spotify now as well.
we are, yes, since
Can we
last week.
shout out ourselves?
Yeah. Links galore
Exactly, yeah.
in this week's session episode. Yeah, yeah. Oh, can I think of anything else? Can you think
Yeah,
of
reading
anything?
books. We've got books. I'm sitting in my office here with a load of books. I'm going to pull this one down as one of my favorites. It's not d directly related to ELT, but it's this, and we can chat about. We can see I'm full of post-its there.
Your
This is
brain
a
on
topic to chat
art.
about another day. But yeah, read.
Yeah, yeah,
Go
definitely.
and sit in. You're like me. You don't actually need to buy them all. Just go and sit in your library or sit in your local bookshop and see what's coming out,
Yeah, yeah,
and then find it in the library or something. Yeah.
yeah.
If you have a bookshop near you, go and sit in your bookshop.
With a
Read,
cup of
read,
coffee,
read, read.
because many
Yeah.
bookshops have coffee shops as
Oh,
well.
that's true. Yeah, yeah. But reading not I mean, I brought that one down because it's not necessarily related to ELT. So reading
Mm,
around topics. I've got books downstairs about the mind and about the quiet brain or the silent brain or something. Yeah, just consuming, keeping yourself up to date. What
mm.
else? Conversations like this.
Conversations, yeah, conversations, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's it. I think there is so much that we can do, and some of
Mm,
it is very explicit, like attending
yeah.
conferences, but other times it is just kind of scrolling on LinkedIn and reading someone's
Sorry.
post.
Yeah, sorry, just dropping things as I reach for the book. Reflecting. Sorry, I was flicking back in, but I'm not
Mm,
wearing my glasses. The final section in the book, but there's reflection is a form of CPD. And retro planning, if you know what I mean by that.
kind of
It's,
looking back at what you did and
Yeah, note down your
rethinking.
plan afterwards. So, at the end of a lesson, noting it down, what worked, what didn't, and what to build on, what you learnt, you know, sort
Mhm.
of retro planning as well as pre, or instead of pre, depending.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, and then as well, kind of looking at different approaches and kind of trying new things as well. Just with you saying kind of, I've seen quite a few posts recently about dog me and people going, it's not just winging it.
It
But
isn't,
that
no.
idea of,
Well, the retro planning, so it was quite a long time ago, but the debate at that time was about, oh, planning, we don't plan, you go in but it's not quite as loose as don't
yeah.
plan. So having a structure before you go in is obvious, but then retro planning was something we discussed a lot at that time. And Sue Murray in Italy was one of the main people sort of involved in that discussion. Because when you do retro plan, apart from noting down all the vocabulary and stuff that came out, you can also see any trends that come through. Um, it's a sort of a reflective activity as well, but you can see trends or tendencies both from the students and yourself if you tend to, I don't know, avoid certain types of activities or always teach the same way, and perhaps you need to adapt. So yeah, it was very much part of the dogma, the original like dogma
Yeah.
version one, should we say, movement, as opposed to the more recent. I'm talking about, from the Yahoo groups in the noughties. So yeah, I don't know. There are lots and lots of ways of CPD. It's kind of a shame that Twitter went the way that it went because Twitter used to be very good for CPD when it had TweetDeck particularly, and you could organize tweets. I wonder if there's a similar platform. There isn't really.
Nothing's really stepped in to replace it,
No, Blue
unfortunately.
Sky hasn't quite taken off.
No, no. But we'll keep
Mm,
having our conversations here on LinkedIn
yeah.
and on Spotify now as
Well, this is
well.
it. We won't just continue, but as of this month, as this is still April 2026, in case you're watching, goodness knows where, um, we have, as well as Instagram and Facebook and this YouTube channel, we also now have Spotify and a blog. So we're out there,
Yep, you can find us on many different mediums.
or media.
Media. Well, on that note, come and find us. We'll add all the links in the show notes and see you again next week.
And thank you for joining us for coffee.